1920年，包括挪威在内，欧、美、亚洲共18国签订了斯瓦尔巴条约，将这一座16世纪被人类发现的无主岛交给挪威管辖，但签约国公民可以自由进出。在挪威管理之下，斯瓦尔巴群岛禁猎、禁开发，65%的地区都规划为保护区。北极就从动物坟场成了生态乐土。但是来自瑞士的 Sebastian 11年前开始成为最北小镇居民，他却告诉我们惊人的发现。
Since I came here on Svalbard, I can see that most of the fjords here don't freeze anymore in the winter. Some of the glaciers, remember, they were maybe 500 or a bit more meters closer to out, and they retreat quite a lot. So you don't need to be a scientist to see the sign of climate change, but we are the witness of them because we live here for a very long time.
Lady Hook Brain 冰河是斯瓦巴群岛北部最大的冰河，你可以看到它整个长达7公里的环状冰河非常的壮观。但在1906年，摩纳哥亲王亚伯特一世他曾经拍摄过第一张照片。到了100年之后，2006年，他的孙子亚伯特二世在同样的角度拍摄了这个冰河，发现100年之间，整个冰河已经消融了40%。实际靠近大冰川，就会发现海面上布满崩解的大大小小冰块。冰河就在我们眼前崩落。
You can see how deep the glacier is. What you have is 1/10 of the iceberg above water and 9/10 below.
Wow!
The tip of the iceberg, if you will. It's always normal to hear cracking and to hear ice falling down. That's normal. But we have certainly seen where it's retreating much quicker, much faster in many areas. So yeah, I've seen a lot of changes. Well, as the summer progresses and it's so warm, we do see more waterfalls than we ever saw before.
在亿万年成型的冰川之下，人类的小船显得微不足道，却没想到，我们却有足以改变这个冰冻极地的能力。北极的冬天是一片被冰封住的海洋，而到了夏天，部分的海冰会融化，就像你现在所看到这样的景象。但有科学家预测，从现在开始的几十年之内，甚至最快在2020年，北极的夏天将成为有史以来第一片无冰的海域。玛丽安·隆德博士是奥斯陆大学附属气候变迁研究中心资深研究员。8年来，他持续关注气候变迁对全球和人类的影响。在他的研究当中，北极的暖化早已经超乎我们的想象。
The Arctic is warming more than twice as much as the global average. We've seen that over the past decades. So while the globe as a whole has warmed by about 0.9 degrees from 1850 to 2012, the Arctic has warmed more than double that. And in some regions, even more than that. In some regions of Alaska, even 3 or 4 degrees warmer than it used to be.
从1979年有卫星观测以来，每年9月，北极海冰面积最小的时候，都会到达红色曲线，维持大约800万平方公里。但是从2000年开始，海冰逐渐减少，2012年竟然只剩下340万平方公里。 夏天的北极海冰已经减少了50%。现在的时间是半夜1点钟，夏天的北极是日不落的永昼。冰冻的北冰洋就像一面巨大的反光镜，把太阳的能量反射到宇宙。亿万年来一直在帮助冷却地球，但当这些冰川大量融化之后，世界将发生巨大的改变。
The Arctic is a very important part of our climate system. It acts like a refrigerator, sort of. It acts to balance the temperature on the Earth because it's so much colder up there. The warmth in the tropics will sort of be transported towards the north, and during winter, when there is no sunlight, it will be lost through our heat. The heat comes out from the Earth and will be lost into space from the Arctic. So there is always this way of balancing out the temperatures between the tropics and the Arctic region. Where we do not do anything to reduce emissions, we're looking at a very possible temperature increase of perhaps 4 or 5 degrees globally. But this means perhaps 10 or 12 degrees in parts of the Arctic. It's quite possible that the sea ice will be completely gone during summer already by 2050, so by the middle of our century.
冰雪的冰冻和消融，主宰了北极的一切。当周围熟悉的银白世界消失了，极地动物们就面临艰巨的生存挑战。
Of course, these changes affect the animals. For instance, polar bears and a certain type of seal, they depend very much on the sea ice. So without the sea ice, their natural habitat is almost gone. And they have a very hard time adjusting to that. And it's quite likely that they won't be able to adjust and they will perhaps disappear in the future completely.
而每年往返南北极的北极雁会是另一个受害者。因为暖化造成的气候异常，往年的筑巢地今年意外的没有融雪，而北极雁只能原地痴痴等待。它们的下一代恐怕来不及长大，也赶不上南极的夏天。为了就地观测北极生态的变化做出因应，挪威包括奥斯陆大学在内的4所大学1993年在朗伊尔城共同成立了斯瓦尔巴大学中心，专门研究北极地质和生物学。
One of the new species that we have seen in the sea is, for example, the Atlantic mackerel. That's a warm water species living further south. 2 years ago, we fished it just in the coast of Svalbard. We see blue mussels coming up on land. We see new bird species. And there are also new plant species being discovered, all indicating that the Arctic is heating and the ecosystem is changing.
这一片雪白世界是地球上仅存的冰冻荒野，我们似乎才刚刚开始了解这里，但一场无情的变革已经悄然进行。
I think definitely we have a very strong responsibility to do what we can now in order to reduce the stress on the future generations.
I remember that for a very long time we would try to find who is the guilty person. Is it a human problem or is it a natural problem? I think today the question is not here anymore. We have to find out what can we do to avoid the problem to be worse than it is today.
欢迎回到融化中的冰冻星球。面对北极的加速暖化，身处在台湾的我们也许感受不深，但是对1/3国土都位在北极圈的挪威来说，暖化恐怕就是灭绝的起点。身为石油出口的黑金帝国，挪威却是第一个喊出2030年之前要减碳40%的国家。我们这次特别专访挪威前总理布兰特博士，他被称为是永续发展的教母， 在这个北海小国藏着令人惊叹的绿色成就。蜿蜒曲折的冰河峡湾，美丽富饶的北欧之境，奥斯陆，挪威首都，也是最大城，人类发展指数全球第一，更是屡屡获得联合国评价最令人向往居住的世外桃源。仲夏时节，挪威的森林令人陶醉，即使这是个高度发展的现代工业国家。这里是奥斯陆交通最繁忙的地方，一到尖峰时间，车辆川流不息。但特别的是，你在这里不会闻到想象当中可能有的废气，因为除了电车之外，这里的公车多半使用的是生质能源，而汽车部分，挪威更是全世界电动车数量最多的国家。
The sales of electric vehicles in Norway has really rocketed the last 2 years. So far this year, 24% of all new car sales has been pure electric vehicles, like this one. No other countries have had sales above 1%.
挪威共有55000台电动车在大街小巷穿梭，全球50万辆电动车，挪威超过10%。数量和占比都是世界之最，奥斯陆更被称为是电动车之都。挪威是全世界电动车销量最好的国家，这都要归功于政府的优惠政策，像是除了买电动车免税之外，在公共停车场它可以免费停车，而且更可以免费充电。电动车免了加值税和购物税，售价比起一般车便宜了2-3成。挪威政府还斥资700万欧元打造基础建设，光是奥斯陆就有800个免费充电站。
You don't have to pay at the toll roads. We have lots of toll roads in Norway. You see here the bus lane mark here, taxi bus. And I'm actually allowed to drive here because this is an electric vehicle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No traffic jam here.
Exactly. And this is an important incentive.
在挪威，开电动车一年可以省下台币25万，越来越多人乐得当环保尖兵。挪威的公车也将在5年之内全面使用再生能源，而类似台湾的 U-Bike， 在奥斯陆租用9个月，竟然只需要120克朗，大约500元台币，等于租一整天不到2块钱，便宜的不可思议。挪威这一切都是为了要履行在2030年之前将2氧化碳排放量降到4成的承诺。但挪威人为什么非当世界第一的减碳国？距离奥斯陆市中心约15分钟车程，我们即将拜访左右挪威政策和环保成就最重量级的人物。
Hello.
Doctor, hi, nice to meet you.
Come in.
布兰特博士今年76岁，她是挪威有史以来第一任女总理，而且蝉联3届，执政16年。1987年，她在联合国发表了一篇报告，名为《我们共同的未来》，首度提到了永续发展。她主张将人类经济发展和环境保护相结合。这篇之后被称为是布兰特报告，联合国因此制定了气候变迁等国际公约，它也被称为永续发展的教母。
Why did I not focus only on the environment? I already knew there is no way to save the environment if people and countries are asked not to develop. Poor people need development. So unless we find a way to combine the concern for the environment with a pattern of development that makes it possible, we have to change our pattern of development so that we can take care of planet Earth and the humanity at the same time. This was the analysis of our common future. a vision of change, that the whole world has to be changing. Otherwise, coming generations will not have a decent life and a safe life, and our environment will be undermined.
原木材质，北欧设计风格。走进奥斯陆最新落成的购物商场，一大面绿色植栽墙超级抢镜，因为这是挪威最新绿建筑代表作。屋顶全用透光隔热玻璃打造，省下照明电力。商店内部采用节能 LED 灯，所有建材都是环保低碳的水泥和木头。室内空调则是引进海水冷却系统，外墙还有全自动遮阳板，能随着太阳角度上升下降，既不阻挡光线，又不会让室内升温。而最特别的是，它还拥有挪威最大的太阳能屋顶花园。